Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome into your number one source for Native American television news, Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, coming to you from the Mvskoke Media Studios as we are prepared and ready for this week's episode, and we have a lot to get to, so everybody out there, buckle in. We're going to have all kinds of great things happening in and around Mvskoke Creek Nation and Indian Country here for the next 30 minutes. So glad to be able to join you here on Tulsa CW, our home for several years now, and for those folks out there that watch us online, we want to welcome in our online audience as well. A lot of people asking, talking about Native News Today, getting more popular by the week, so we want to thank everybody out there for watching and making this show really go. It's the people at home that watch and take an interest in our stories that make it happen. So we're very glad to be bringing it to you today. We have a little bit of everything. A very bright young woman down at Eufaula High School, a Mvskoke Creek citizen at the Eufaula dormitory with a big recognition, a big honor. We highlight her and her achievement this week. We'll take a look at some exciting things coming up and show you what's so exciting about the Mvskoke Creek Nation Festival. So we got a little bit of everything, including a highlighting of a business from One Fire Holdings Company. All of that and more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The countdown has begun for the Mvskoke Creek Nation's marquee event, the 43rd Annual Mvskoke Nation Festival. It all happens June 22nd through 25th in Okmulgee. Come out and enjoy cultural activities, food, arts and crafts, sports competitions, the All-Indian Rodeo that started it all, the annual parade through historic downtown, carnival rides for the kids, and live entertainment. Friday night is Country Night with Delta Ray at 7 p.m., followed by Grammy Award winner Leanne Womack at 9. Saturday night is Blues Night starting at 7 with Johnny Lang, and ending with headliner Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Concerts are free to attend and are located at the amphitheater stage at the Claude Cox Omniplex in Okmulgee. For more information, including maps, schedules, and entry forms, please visit creekfestival.com. And welcome back, and as you saw there, everybody getting excited about the marquee event of the year at Mvskoke Creek Nation. That's the festival weekend, and big news regarding the festival this past week. I had a chance to share it with you now. The entertainment lineup has been announced. Friday night, that is June 23rd, kicking off at 7 o'clock. It's Country Night, and the first act there will be a group called Delta Ray. They will be followed at 9 p.m. by the headliner, Grammy Award-winning artist Leanne Womack. And then Saturday night is Blues Night. Johnny Lang will start things off at 7 o'clock, followed by the headliner at 9, Mr. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. A little blue on black out there at the Claude Cox Omniplex. You know, we thought about this week, hey, we're going to talk about the entertainment, tell everybody about the headliners, get everyone excited about the concerts. We thought, why not tell them about it? Let's show them what the entertainment experience is like at the Mvskoke Creek Nation Festival. This is last year's highlights.
This is going to be awesome tonight. I mean, this is a party I've been waiting for. Yeah, we're going to love it. We're going to throw it down out there. I promise you.
All right. Yeah.
Jack,
Thank you so much.
And as we told you in the opener, we have a bright student, an up-and-coming youngster down in Eufaula at the dormitory that goes to Eufaula High School, Miss Alexis Burris, doing great things. Alexis went to a competition recently where she showed a documentary that she did on the historic Labor Day powwow down there at Eufaula. You know, the EIC for many years did that powwow, and people down there that are in the know the families that were involved in putting it together and making it happen and making it such a historical event. And Alexis, being one of our native youth from that area, knew the importance of it, knew how many people held that event near and dear to their heart, and she decided to document this special event and with the documentary and actually put that forth in a contest and was actually awarded for her work. So we wanted to go down and talk with her about that, as well as just some great things that she has going on in her life.
My video documentary was mainly about the Labor Day powwow we always have here in Eufaula, Oklahoma every year. I talked to the people that are over it. JD Tiger, her family are mainly into it and stuff. So I interviewed her, and I interviewed some of the dancers that would have been in it also. It's mainly about the history behind the Labor Day powwow because they have it every year. Nobody around Eufaula even knows like what goes on between the powwows and what's the purpose of it. They kind of be like, you know, it's something, you know, they're not real interested in. So, you know, I kind of want to get more people involved. I know like some stuff you can't really talk about in front of, you know, other people that aren't within the, you know, people, the tribe and stuff, you know. I try to keep that kind of, you know, tight so I don't have to, you know, go into detail about that on some things I can't talk about. And I just kind of want people to know that we're still around, you know, and I want people to realize that our culture is the same thing as anybody else's, as, you know, maybe like a Thanksgiving or, you know, just any type of big occasion with other people. This is also something that's very meaningful for all of us to, you know, I just kind of want to show everybody what we're about. And like, I'm not afraid to, you know, tell about my people and what their background is and what we do. Like, that's kind of my purpose of it, is to show many people around that it's, you know, we're still here. I really do like it. And in 6th grade, you know, I was kind of scared to leave home. I was, you know, a little homesick, maybe the first couple weeks and stuff, but the staff and the kids here are just, you wouldn't meet any more people like this out, you know, out there. And where I come from, Mvskoke, it's just, some of the schools there aren't the best, you know, and my mom thought it'd be better if I came up here. Not only that, but my dad and my uncles and everybody came up here, and some of the people, some of the staff and everybody, they know my dad. They taught my dad, you know, it just kind of runs in the family. So I was just like, you know what, why not, you know? So, I mean, living here at the dorm, you have restrictions, you have rules, you have, you know, you do have to do your homework. They have hourly stuff that you can do. But after you get all that stuff out of the way, dinner and study skills, anything like that, after you get all that stuff out the way, then it's just free time. You can do what you want, but it does kind of get boring after being here for like 4 or 5 years. It does kind of get boring because you do the same thing every single day. You see the same thing every single day. You can't leave unless somebody comes and gets you, you know, and they try to do stuff around here that kind of occupies us to do stuff. Like they take us to the movies, Six Flags and stuff like that. And it's, you know, I think it's a really good environment to raise children in. I mean, not only children, but, you know, young adults also. So I just really liked it. I used Final Cut Pro, and I went to the University of Arkansas to get actually training on that. So I actually went to the college and got to experience like a lot of stuff, even sat in the same classroom as college students. So it kind of left me like a really huge impact on me, because, you know, I could be sitting there, you know, in a year or two, you know. And they helped me out a lot. There were some pointers, because once you're in the East class, you kind of learn things on your own. You teach yourself, basically, and you use Google, you use anything to kind of like help you figure out the answer, not only the teacher, you know. And so I was kind of taught myself when I was introduced to this program. It was all new to me. I didn't know how to use it. And so I was just like, okay. So that's when I went to the University of Arkansas and got help specifically on East Initiative Final Cut Pro. And after I kind of did, you know, all that, I stayed up there for 2 days. Everything was paid for me. I didn't have to pay for anything. The hotel was nice. Everything was pretty legit. And after all that, you know, that's when I went to East Conference, which is all the way in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it's you know, over 4,000 students there, and you know, it's a lot of students that come all over from Arkansas, Oklahoma. You meet a lot of new people. I mean, I like film things, you know, but my most career thing was photography. I really like doing photography. I can work my way around the camera and stuff, and you know, I just think I was, you know, born to do it, because I just started taking pictures when I was a kid. Like I took pictures of myself mostly. My mom has a picture of me, and it's just so funny. Like my face is all up in it. But after I get out, what I wanted to do, many people told me, like, once you go into photography business, it's not the best business. You won't get any money off of it and stuff like that. Most people told me that, and it kind of changed my mind up a little bit. So I hear different things all the time about photography, but I still want to do it as a hobby. But my most thing, you know, I started like liking was kind of counseling and kind of stuff like that. Like I like to talk to people about their stuff because, you know, I mean, I've always wanted, I needed somebody to talk to, you know, nobody was really there for me, and I want to be there for other people, like I can experience and relate to. And, you know, most people don't, you know, do that unless they're getting paid to, or, you know, something like that. They're not really about it. But, you know, I'd really like to help somebody in situations like that. Like, I'm going to Votech next year while I'm still doing high school stuff. And I'm gonna go in there for like teaching, like little kids first. And then I'm gonna like build my way up in the career to like kind of like a counseling thing, like go around talking about suicide preventions, teen pregnancies, just, you know, stuff like that. Even sexual assault, because that's like one of the high things that many people go through, not, you know, only men, but, you know, like women also, they it's just crazy. It's just a lot of things I would like to help out with and stuff, and like counseling is just one of the things I'd kind of like to do. It was, I don't know, it was really exciting moment for me, because out of 4,000 students coming to this convention, you would think, you know, you're not going to get it, you're not, you know, and I did. And that's what really surprised me, because I didn't realize I'd get it. Out of 4,000 students, that is just crazy. And when, you know, they told me, you know, the person that is over the whole convention came up and asked for me personally and said that I changed, you know, something in him. We had kind of similarities on what he did as projects. So I think that was a really good improvement for me too. And, you know, 4,000 students and just one person out of Eufaula, Oklahoma is just really rare for me to get it. And then I was really excited.
And we want to thank Alexis, her family, all the people at the Eufaula dormitory for allowing us to come down and get that great feature on her. Big things in that young lady's future in store for wonderful things, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for her. As we move along, you know, some of the things that we've highlighted here on the show before is the Mvskoke Creek Nation's relationship to its holding company that is tasked with making investments in different companies and bringing in revenue to the tribe. One Fire Holdings Company. And One Fire, when they talk about a lot of the things that they have put forth and a lot of businesses that they've brought into Riverwalk, they discuss it as an anchor tenant. Well, one of their companies that they feel is an anchor company is a company that in just 2 years has really grown and is now in a position to return an investment to One Fire, and that is Big Elk Energy Systems. We talked with Big Elk about their operations last week in Tulsa.
Big Elk is a manufacturer of a variety of equipment that serves the energy infrastructure industry. We provide several pieces, but the main one of which is custody transfer measurement equipment. It's most often used when you have a scenario where you've got two energy companies that are buying and selling natural resources, and we provide that cash register equipment that manages those transactions on a large scale basis. In addition to that, there's a variety of pressure regulation equipment, just all sorts of items. But in general, we serve the energy infrastructure industry. Choosing a name for a company can be a difficult thing. I wanted something that I had a tie to, but was not necessarily, Hager Industries or, something like that. And so my mother's Osage Indian, and along that ancestral line, my great-great-great-grandfather, so my third great-grandfather, was a chief of the Osage tribe during the settlement time period. His name was Opentonka, which is translated Big Elk, and so that's where the name of the company came from. So it was a way for us to pay homage to that heritage. Our customer base is the largest energy infrastructure companies in North America. So you are going to be hard-pressed to find a major infrastructure project, particularly on the natural gas side, that Big Elk doesn't have some role in as far as providing key equipment for. When we were, just 10 months old, we received our first multi-million-dollar contract with a large infrastructure company, and that really paved the way for tremendous employment increases, really helped us build out our infrastructure base as a manufacturing company. Now we're poised to, just 2.5 years later, we're nearly 100 employees and doing some really great things. We do maintain extremely close relationships with all of our particular customer base and have very real and frank dialogue with them when it comes to these big key projects. I would say that in my experience, the vast majority of the entities that we deal with, they tend to have a strong sensitivity towards these issues as well. There are definitely incidences where you'll have a case, a particular case where something occurs that really puts a barrier between the entity that's building the infrastructure and the indigenous groups where that infrastructure is being laid. I would say my experience is those are pretty few and far between. We take them very seriously when they do occur, but we certainly have dialogue with all of our partners to make sure that there's a strong sensitivity towards indigenous people that are going to be potentially impacted by these projects. Given the history in terms of where the company name came from, it's something that's very important to us. And so it was very important that we find a partner who also had a similar passion for that native heritage, and we found that in One Fire. One Fire was one of the groups that we came to when we were simply a dream on a piece of paper, and they believed in us. And from that time until now, the company's grown tremendously, and One Fire's proved to be an incredible partner of Big Elk. Furthermore, they've helped us more than just with the initial investment. We've utilized other employment programs within the Creek Nation. We have several Creeks employed at Big Elk, and some of them have started at general labor positions and have moved up and promoted and are part of key manufacturing processes now as well. So they've been a tremendous partner for us.
I've been here since they've opened up the doors here in this facility, which is being around mid-November of 2014 that I've been here, so going on 3 years now. This is actually the first time I've really been able to be at the head of most of these jobs that's actually come through on getting their jobs out on time, our other customers getting their jobs out on time. And being with Creek Nation, we got one guy that's under me now that we brought on through the Creek Nation employment that they have there. And we're real happy to have him. He's done a really, really good job. I really do like the Big Elk family here. That is one way that Jeff Hager has built it for all of us. that we put in all of our employees, that I instill in all my employees that I have under me, is just that family aspect of everything that we do here.
We have an amazing culture here at Big Elk. I hope you get an opportunity to meet and visit with some of our other team members. You know, we're only 2.5 years old, but in that time period, you know, with nearly 100 people employed now, and I think that we'll be over that here in just a couple of months. We're in a high growth mode. I guess there's two things I would share. One, we have a passion for the culture that exists here. In 2.5 years and nearly 100 people, I think we've only had 2 people that have voluntarily left the company for another opportunity. So I think our retention would be unprecedented relative to most companies. And that's not by coincidence. And so we have an amazing team. Certainly we've got a great facility and equipment and all those sorts of things, but at the end of the day, our biggest asset is our people. And our people know that. We work very hard to make sure that there's no us versus them culture that exists within our company. Everybody operates on the same team. So it's a powerful thing when you can actually pull people together and make that happen. As a result, you know, now we're being utilized by some of the biggest companies in North America on some of the biggest projects that are bringing natural resources to places where they weren't previously. And that's something that we're extremely proud of. Again, One Fire's been a tremendous partner, and you know, now we're at a point where we can begin providing a return on that initial investment. We look forward to that as well.
And we want to thank Jeff Hager and Lewis Cash and really the whole family there at Big Elk. And it is a family, as I said in the piece there. I want to thank all the people there for the wonderful work that they're doing and for allowing us in. And it's really neat to be able to see a company that was a seed investment from One Fire really blossoming and doing wonderfully in just 2 years of existence. So keep up the great work to Big Elk. Keep hiring Creek citizens. It's a wonderful thing. They're a great operation. As we move along, as we talked about, you know, a lot of things happening in and around Indian country at this time of year, a lot of awareness events, and a couple of the past couple of years we've really taken a look at children's mental health awareness. What are we doing to not only be aware of these things, but be in acceptance of them? And you know, sometimes people deal with different things, and when they're children, we have to be a little more sensitive, a little more attentive. So the Mvskoke Creek Nation of Behavioral Health held a children's mental health awareness event. We were there to cover it.
Mental health in all populations is extremely important. It's one of the most common problems that we have out there that goes without treatment. And so starting to identify these illnesses early in our children is something that is just extremely important. And so that's what today's all about. It's about recognizing that these mental illnesses are something that can be treated. It's not something that we can ignore, and that we want to address it early on so that these don't become issues that they're going to struggle with the rest of their life. I think that there's so many different kinds of mental illnesses that it could go, it could be like the presenter said in there, 1 in 5.
Okay, that'll do it for another episode of Native News Today. We certainly want to thank you all out there for watching us, tuning in each and every Saturday, and all of you that tune in on the webcast there. We have basically our online channel that you can subscribe to. Just go to YouTube, search in Native News Today. You can watch us each week from wherever you're at. You can be in Somalia, you can be in Alaska and watch Native News Today. It's a great thing. We were so glad to be able to provide that to the people that are out of our area. So lots of great things coming up on there. You know, this week I had a chance to drive up to Branson, Missouri. You know, the little, I guess you could say it's, what do they call it, Jared? White-haired Vegas or something like that? Yeah, pretty awesome little place. And, you know, I had a chance to go up there and go to the Dixie Stampede. There's 3 Mvskoke Creek brothers that comprise a bluegrass band that is the opening act at Dolly Parton's Dixie Stampede. So Creek's doing great things up in Branson. Had a chance to go visit with those guys, the Baldridge brothers, and they call themselves the White River Wranglers. We'll have that for you next week on the show. So excited to be able to show you that feature. I know Terry Day is going to be fired up about that one. He's a big fan of bluegrass music up there in Inola. So everybody out there, have a great week. Keep checking us online. Keep checking those social media sites. And we'll stay with you right here on Native News Today.